the next few weeks, probably a couple of months, I'm going to go back to discussing some intermittent fasting tips and tricks and some mindset approaches specifically to intermittent fasting, simply because it's that time of the year where I start to feel a little sense of urgency and panic in DMs and emails that I'm getting from a lot of women in our community. And so I want to put all of that to rest and really provide some really good common sense approaches to how it is you want to incorporate some changes in your life so that you can look and feel your best. And if maybe you were part of an intermittent fasting lifestyle and you've stepped away, how you can easily get back and some things that you can do to make it make sense for you. So welcome to today's video. My name is Ann Parham. I'm the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, where I teach you how to take a mindset approach to creating a lifestyle for yourself so that you can, in fact, look and feel your best. And we do use a tool. That tool is intermittent fasting to really help you understand how you show up mentally, emotionally, and physically in food situations so that you can make the best choices for yourself. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you 3 things to think about and really ease the panic and ease maybe some disappointment that you have at the end of the year because maybe you didn't reach some goals that you had set for yourself, and how you can set yourself up for success going into a new year so that this time next year you won't be feeling maybe some of the things you're feeling today. So the first thing that I always recommend women do is decide what changes you think you need to make. You are going to get bombarded with marketing, advertising in regards to menopause, specifically menopause weight loss, menopause belly fat, menopause hormone balancing, all the things. And I don't want you to make a decision that is going to put you in an old mindset or into old habits where you might buy into something where you do something drastic for 5 days and it's going to help you lose all the weight and all the belly fat and it's going to make you feel better. We know that that is not true. 5 days is not what creates a lifestyle change. Lifestyle changes happen over a span of a lifetime. So I want you to really think about what it is you're doing in your life today that has you in a place where you might be seeking something out that's different, or you're seeking out something that's better, or some change that you were hoping to create for yourself. And why is it that you need that change? For so many women in menopause specifically, or going through the seasons of change of menopause, we really have to admit and understand and accept that our body is changing, and we really need to understand those changes so that we can change with it. Every woman going through menopause is complaining, suffering, experiencing the same changes. So it's not that you are doing something wrong or there is something wrong with your body. You just have to catch up with the changes. And so that's where I really want you to think about, what changes do you think that you need to make? And can you incorporate that into a lifestyle? This is where intermittent fasting has been such a game changer for so many women because it is easy, it is inexpensive, it is going to simplify your life. You just roll into it. And so if you are new to intermittent fasting, how can you incorporate something like a window of doing nothing into your everyday routine so that you can experience the benefits of intermittent fasting? And like I said, over the course of the next few weeks, we're going to talk about intermittent fasting specifically and why it is so beneficial to us as women who are having hormonal changes and maybe some changes in our body that we're not happy with, and how this lifestyle change has been so beneficial for us. But how can it be beneficial for you? One of the biggest things that women experience when they practice intermittent fasting is just the ease and simplicity of it. You don't have to micromanage your food. You don't have to stress about food for several hours in your day. And once you really get into intermittent fasting and your body adapts to it, you will have so much internal energy, so much clarity, so much focus. A lot of hormones do end up balancing out, and it just makes life really easy for us. So the first step into really easing yourself into this new season, or easing yourself into a new year and taking the panic and stress away, is just deciding that you need to make change, and then really doing some research and figuring out what change could benefit your life the most and ease expense Can you do this on rinse and repeat? Because we do want to make sure that we're creating a lifestyle. We don't want to do a panic diet. We don't want to do anything that's drastic because we know those results don't last. So do your research and decide for yourself, what changes do you think that you need to make? And could intermittent fasting be one of those changes that could work for you? The second thing that I want you to make sure that you're entering this new year with, and you're ending the new year with, is logic and really not letting emotion be the thing that's going to decide your next move. Emotion changes. You could literally watch someone talking about being a carnivore on YouTube and think, I am all in. That seems like the greatest thing ever. And then you can watch a video about, a plant-based diet, and you could be like, wow, I never considered that. Maybe that is something that I want to do. And those are just emotional buy-ins that don't really implement logic for you and your life. To do something that is very specific, like a carnivore diet or a plant-based diet, really means that you are either going to have to take yourself out of people in your life who aren't following that kind of lifestyle and live a completely different lifestyle. A lot of times when we go into these types of decisions that are emotionally based and not logic based, we don't consider the bigger picture. We're basing our opinion off what one person is telling us and the results that they got, and we desperately want the same result. But there are a lot of approaches to losing weight or changing your health that can really make you isolated from your life. We know that because we have dieted before. And when we dieted, we had to live a different life than most of the people that we were living with at our house, right? Unless you got your husband to buy in on it, you definitely probably didn't want to bring your kids into it. And so you have to think about that. If you're going to do something that is extremely different than how you're living now, will that fit into your lifestyle? Or are you doing that on an emotional buy-in and you haven't considered the logistics or just plain logic around it? And then if you do something based on emotion and it doesn't work for you, then you just chalk that up as you failed again. And it's not that you failed, it's just that you picked the wrong approach for the goal that you say that you want for yourself. So when you're thinking about making some lifestyle changes, especially centered around nutrition and body image changes and weight loss, is it logical? Does it make sense for the life that you want to live in the long term? Or is it something that could be short-lived because you don't have the buy-in of the people around you? It's a very serious thing to consider and a very serious thing to think through before you jump into something and make an investment in it. And then the third thing I would love for you to consider is the fact that hard is hard. If you're feeling disappointed, if you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling discouraged about what's going on with your body, that is hard to live every day. Changing your lifestyle is honestly also hard. You are going to have to make some serious changes, and you have to be really dedicated to those changes for a lifetime for the changes and maybe some of the results that you get to stick. We know that when you make positive changes, we often get positive results. And then if we go back to what we were doing before we made those positive changes, we tend to get the results back that we had that made us want to make changes in the first place. So I really want you to make sure that you're looking for something that can, in fact, be a lifestyle change. And it's going to be hard. There is nothing about changing your nutrition or changing your social habits around food or incorporating more movement in your life, but it is worth it, and you are worth it. So I always recommend picking your hard. Make sure the hard that you are going to live in is going to get you the results that you say that you really want. Once you really establish your routine, you start to feel the results and you see the results from the changes that you made, it won't seem as hard, and you will also be reaping the positive benefits. And the only reason that it doesn't seem hard anymore is just because it's part of what you're naturally doing and how you're naturally showing up for yourself. Oftentimes what happens when we settle into something that we once thought was hard and now we are living it every single day as just part of our routine is we often seek out the next hard, right? We want the next accomplishment. We want the next result. We want to achieve the next goal. The goal is to get a positive result when you choose hard. We don't want to live in hard and have a negative result. So the 3 tips that I have for you, if you're feeling a little anxious about the end of the year and the pressure to make some positive changes in the new year, decide what changes that you need to make. If you are a woman who is transitioning through some hormonal changes, you have to make the changes that coincide with your body changes, the hormone changes, the body chemistry changes. You can no longer live like a 20 and 30-year-old woman. That's just the truth. But the changes that you will make will be very positive and will allow you to look and feel your best as you are transitioning into these hormonal changes and into your future self. Make sure that if you do buy into something, that you're doing the decision making through logic and not emotion. Marketing is emotionally based. You want to make sure that you pause, you think about what you're going to do, and does it make sense for your life and the people in your life that you spend the most time with. You do not want to isolate yourself from the people that you love and the people that you spend time with to get a result. You want to make sure that you can continue to engage with your people, spend time with them, and also create some lifestyle changes so that you can get what it is you say that you want. And then the 3rd tip I have for you is just realizing hard is hard. Hard can be negative and hard can be positive. I always encourage you to go with the positive. Pick the thing in life that you are willing to do the hard thing to achieve the positive outcome. You are worth it. You will never regret it. And then all you have to do is rinse and repeat. If you are interested in taking a look at what intermittent fasting might be able to do for you, I always leave the information about our next course in the description box below. I teach you based on mindset. I ask you to think about your life and what it is that you say that you really want and why it is you're making certain nutritional choices in certain seasons of your life. Everything is based off of you and what it is you say that you really want. I just guide you through the thinking process. Like I said, all the information is included down below. You can get on my email list and I will email you when our next course is starting. Thanks for jumping in today. I hope this video eases your mind, eases some of the emotions that you might be feeling entering into the new year and all the pressure of the holidays. You should be able to make a decision that makes you feel good about this next season of life. And I want you to be able to reap the results of the changes you are making for a lifetime.